this February 15th, 2023 meeting to order. Eddie, will you lead us in pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The Fayette County Commission will now meet as the Board of Equalization and Review. Is there anybody requesting? There's nobody here to present anything. Okay, motion to recess the Board of Equalization Review and reconvene 9 o'clock, February 17, 2023.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Exonerations, you have anything, Eddie?
Hey,
You can give it to Commissioner. I like to pass it back.
Share the love.
Share the love. There you go.
You got me out of whack. I mean,
Yeah, it doesn't.
Okay, I make a motion to approve the real property exonerations presented today by Eddie.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
and I've got one application for combine or divide or segregate land.
And it's a. They dividing or they combining?
They're combined.
Okay.
So there's two parts to this here and then down here, and it says including 5 acres.
Okay, so it's the same owners divide or combining their own parcels of land. I move we approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
You wanna look at it, John?
Ruth asked me to explain a refund. Okay, what happened on this piece of property? There are two pieces of property side by side. There's a building right on the edge of the property line. And we had it assessed on the wrong track for several years. I think it was, the lady was asking for a refund for 34 years. Now, this came up a few years back, and I called Jerry Knight. You guys know Jerry Knight, and asked him what the process was. He said, "Well," and I read the code, and Anthony may know this as well. The code doesn't really address it very well. It does mention something about 5 years, but it doesn't really, that doesn't mean that you go back 5 years. That's not what I mean. Anyway, Jerry told me that what you need to do is what the county has always done in the past. Keep the same thing all the time. That way, if someone would come back, "Hey, you didn't do this right. Look, this is how we've done it since the beginning of time." So the way Fayette County's always done this, if there is an issue like this, we'll fix the current year and go back 5 years and either refund or let them do credit on future taxes. So that's why, she wanted back to whenever it was on the letter, but I put 5 years on here. Now, if you guys would want to change that, that's up to you, but I think as going forward that we probably need to stay on the same path. What's the code provision? The code provision? I'll have to look it up, Anthony. I don't know it off the top of my head, but I have read that in depth, and it mentions 5 years in there, but it doesn't mean the way it's written, it doesn't mean that you go out 5 years. But if that's the way the county's handled it in the past, and that's the way most counties do it, but they'll this has been the policy throughout the county, and that's the way it has been.
Well, I think I'd feel better if we did it the way West Virginia code said we're supposed to do it.
So it doesn't really, It doesn't really nail it down. I'll look it up and see.
Okay.
Okay.
When did she bring this start?
Last week, wasn't it? What's the date on that letter?
I wrote the letter on February 3rd.
Yeah.
So we get it the same day we got it, I think.
Okay, so this has been going on for a long period of time, but she just brought it to our attention.
Yeah, I mean,
Last
and then the code, you know, it does say in the code that you can go back to when a problem. You got 1 year from the day the tax ticket came out, or when the problem could have reasonably been discovered. Well, it had reasonably been discovered the first year it happened.
Okay, so that's another,
Yeah, so it's, I mean, we didn't have the technology back in the day, the aerial photography to look down on the property. It was, we just set the best we could and put it on the property we thought it was on. That was before I started. Looking at my own how to get it.
well, I move that we just make a decision on this later in the meeting after Anthony had a chance to look at the code.
Okay, well, I'll go look that up and bring it back to you.
A second. All in favor?
Aye.
Vouchers and invoices. Did y'all have any questions? Yeah, I do have a question. I wanted to postpone the Valley River Volunteer Fire Department reimbursements until I have a chance. I want to postpone it to the 17th. Do I have a chance to look at the invoices? I haven't had a chance to look at the invoices. Other than that, I would like to move to what's that?
Valley River.
Valley River. Other than that, I'll make a motion to approve vouchers and invoices.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Ruth, the ones I postponed from Wednesday to today, I'm gonna like to separate vote on that. Is that correct or not?
You could do the same thing because they're all bills, although they're not in your packet. I can give you copies and say.
Well, I mean, I've looked, I don't know the other two commissioners, but I've looked through the invoices. And I would want to postpone Smithers till the 17th, so I could talk to Mr. Cruikshank. I have some questions, but I was going to approve the rest of them, but I don't know the commissioners.
I'm fine with that.
Okay, I'm at motion to approve the vouchers and invoices for
With everything, for everything with the exception of Smithers and Valley.
I make a motion to approve the voucher invoices with all vouchers invoices that I postponed except for Smithers Fire Department.
And Valley River.
Well, this is the
Well,
ones that you postponed.
This is the
last
ones I
week.
postponed.
Oh.
I've already postponed this.
A second.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Minutes,
Who's doing that? Are you doing it then, John?
No, Allison took them.
No, I just made a couple corrections to that one you gave me. I didn't think so. Well, we'll work this out after me.
I don't have any mistakes, I don't want to either. So that.
and this, yep, 9:15, discuss a water buffalo. Let's tell you want to take, hey, we'll do that.
Well, we can start.
Okay, well. We needed water buffalo for Armstrong Creek when they was out water a while back. And we contacted American Water and they didn't have any. So I think maybe we should discuss about purchasing our own water buffaloes in case of a need.
We since found out from the Boy Scouts that they have about 30 water buffaloes up there and a truck that services them and fills them. And of course, had we known, I'm sure they would have let us one for Armstrong Creek during that water crisis. Because we were competing with Beckley's water crisis and we were not winning. And so we found out in this discussion that water buffaloes themselves aren't prohibitively expensive. But you do have to have equipment to keep them sanitized and maintained. So we just wanted to explore with the PSDs, I think, trying to get water buffaloes for their residents in need for whatever reasons the PSDs are having. Maybe the PSDs can take on the sanitization and the refilling of them, because they should have that equipment.
Yeah, I'd like to see what one would cost.
Yeah, and we're supposed to we asked the head of the Boy Scouts to get us quotes, because he has apparently a bulk deal thing going on with the provider of them, and he was going to get back to us at some point to let us know what the expense would be, but we think it wouldn't hurt because the need for water buffaloes has come up multiple times in the past year alone. And I don't know whether the answer is to purchase them for the PSDs to be able to use when they have an outage, or if the answer is to purchase them for the county emergency manager to deploy with the assistance from whoever he can get to in emergency situations or what, but once we get some information on the prices, I think maybe we can get it on the agenda again and get some PSDs in here, the ones that have been having problems, and approach them about it.
Yeah, there was a company in Beckley that I believe that built the water buffaloes.
Yeah, for the Boy Scout.
Supposed to get information on that to get a price.
But anyway, we feel like, if they're only, nominal expense, I say nominal, I think he was guessing they were around $3,000 maybe a piece. Of course, the maintenance is going to be another factor of it, but rather than have people go without water, it would be nice to have something like this available for the county to deploy either through the PSDs or through its emergency management office to. And you know what, I think we could ask Kevin to work on that for us. Since
Yes.
it does come up in emergency management perspective, so. I don't mind reaching out to him and talking to him about it.
Yeah, because they were without water again on January 30th. And they went a few hours without, so
Yeah, if we had a water buffalo or two,
it could have been down there.
Just
for
storage.
years.
yeah, we didn't
Somebody-
even store them at the 911 center. We have a maintenance building out there, or a building out there. We store them at the.
Well, and we may need to, in the case of Armstrong Creek, where those issues are ongoing, I mean, we may really need to find a storage building to put up that hollow, to store it, because we've had a problem finding a place to put it. If we found somebody who's willing to donate land, or if we have any county, I don't know if we have any county land up there, maybe at the PSD.
I'll look, I've got a map. I do have a map of all the county owned property. That y'all can pull up and look at anytime you want.
And then there's several less than desirable homes up that hollow that need to be taken care of. So possibly a piece of property there too.
All right, is that it? Oh, y'all,
Mhm.
anything
Yeah,
else?
so let's just make a motion to start the first part of getting pricing on water, on the water buffalo.
Okay, a second.
All in favor?
All right.
The Chapman,
We don't need to do anything with that. Matt said he thinks that it can be covered under a
Yeah.
separate grant agreement that covers the surveying and stuff, so it won't affect our long.
yeah, I wanted to talk, I would just wanted the commissioners to know, I think he told me it would be taken care of, but I wanted them to be aware of it and everything, so I told him to put it on the agenda. If they had any questions, they could ask. Everybody good with that? Well,
Look at us.
there's,
Anybody wants to go early? Michelle? Any interest in going early? She can hear.
Eddie's not till 9:30, and it's only 15 minutes.
Yeah, so Michelle's here, let's get her going.
Don't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
I sent you guys all my budget stuff on Friday. I don't know, I had it on my calendar for the 17th. Y'all had one. But it was ready, so there you go. Probably the easier one is going to be the elections budget, so just want to look at it because, I mean, that's what we know changes from what it was last time. I think it's even $1,000 less than what was in the budget for this year. So, I mean, now you guys kindly raised the for pay, so that employee salary line item is more. But we have plenty to, I mean, there's plenty in there for it, so. That's it. Any questions about the elections budget? I will mention, I looked it up. When we bought our express votes back in 17, 18, they were about $3,000 a piece. I'm sure that's more expensive these days. And the DS200s were about 5,000 then, so. If we should, there is another round of PAVA money that's supposed to come out in the next couple of months. I'm hoping to get either a couple of express votes or enough e-poll books to do early voting. Because I anticipate the 2024 election is going to be busy. I think it'll be a jump in number of people coming out to vote.
You know how much money it is, the grant money,
It's only $1 million spread out over the state.
counties.
That's one. Regular budget, county post budget. The biggest difference in it are the salaries. Once we include the money for the PIA raise, and I did include small raises for each person in that number. That's the biggest difference, I believe, from last year. Yeah. Other than that, I would like to add that part-time position in the elections office. I really think that office needs 1.5 people. There's a lot of stuff that goes on in that office that people don't realize happens. So, like right now, they're working with Donna over at 911 to get proper 911 addresses in our voter registration system for everybody. And as Donna is finding, there's a lot of work she's doing on her end to readdress people. And if she does that, then we get those from her, and she, they would come together quite a bit. And then just everyday people, that office gets a lot of the information questions, and which is fine. I mean, they're fine answering those people because it is an open department, but moving direct money to go. But every time you do that, you have to stop what you're working on to tell someone magistrates across the hall or across the road with the annex building, sort of upstairs.
Have you ever thought about utilizing the same system she does in your office?
Yeah.
And it just be it's just another page or another window, just like another layer.
Right.
Is that what she did? Did she make another layer out there just for you, or
No, she's just using her 911 mapping stuff.
to verify?
Mhm.
Okay.
We did have, when they used the Easy 911 system, we did have a license for that. And then when they went to the, whatever it is, they changed, we did not keep that license for ourselves. It was cost prohibitive just for us to use a different program than everybody else. But I'd love to, I would love to have access to the RPIS stuff. Just, I mean, it would be great to
I think
use
you can.
stuff.
I think I've talked about this before, and all the offices could utilize it if we wanted to.
Right.
And I think it's an asset to have.
Yeah, it's helpful, and it's helpful to people coming in. We use the property bureau all the time because people won't know who owns a piece of property, but they know where it is. And rather than send them to the assessor's office, we'll just pull up property bureau on our computers to help them find it.
Would you like the commission to set up something on the agenda to bring them in to talk about?
Sure. I like that idea. What else is on? But yeah, the part would be $10 an hour, so it comes out to about $11,000 a year, which you add in FICA and retirement to the 10,000.
Would this be a temporary employee or?
It would be a
part-time?
part-time.
Permanent part.
So, and it helps with, like Sarah's out today, but we still have that office open because we have somebody that's been in here.
How many hours is it?
20 hours a week.
So I would prefer 19.
Yeah.
Because if not, we're subject to retirement and do that,
Okay.
which would be another.
Lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not good at my feet. I didn't think PA could be quite that. Hurrah.
Turns out.
Thanks. The only other thing in here is there are two pieces of equipment that I'd like to get for this year. One, the computer in the elections office again, that she does marriage licenses on, the one, the stand-up computer is about 13 years old. And it's just at the end of its life. It doesn't always come on, it just we just need a new one. And then we would like to replace, I'd like to replace the copier. Well, we have two copiers, big copiers in the back. I can replace those two with one newer one. And our maintenance costs would go down because it's newer and there's only one of them. And it's the one that they gave me a quote for, and several, the one that I like the best is about $5,000 for the copier. What do they call it? It's refurbished, but like they actually take it all the way apart, clean all the parts, get replaced parts that need replaced and put it back together. It's technically used, but it's practically new. But other than that, any other questions?
You guys,
Good.
good, thank you.
Thank you.
I hate to interrupt you, but I'm here representing the food pantry at the top of the hill. And I'm here to turn in an application for funding. And I don't know, nobody was over there, so I didn't know where to come to, so here I am.
You can just leave it with me.
Leave it with you. Okay. Then I can get out of y'all. And I'm assuming there'll be another hearing that you'll bring me back in. And
If they have questions, they're not requiring presentations.
I made the copy for all three of them.
Okay. Yeah, four. You have one more?
Yeah.
Yeah, I need. Thank you, sir.
Great, thank you very much.
Have a good day, Mr. Parsons. A quick break. We'll take a break, John. We'll take a 5-minute break. Oh, sure.
You know where it is.
It's
All right.
happened
We'll
before.
bring the meeting back to order.
I can be
Mike,
pretty militant.
Ms. Fridley, you want to make your budget presentation? Is Eddie's not here?
And I thought it was tomorrow, so I'm like, well, I'm not gonna say what I said.
It's okay.
Good morning.
Morning.
15 minutes.
Yeah, that's what happened. I'll try best I can for you, Mr. Burton. Start off with, the three accounts that I know the commission likes to hear. Concealed weapon, right now it's carrying $90,000. Federal assets is $58,000. And the sheriff asset, working with the prosecutor's office, it shows 72, but there was some mess ups through the offices, 44,000 bad, so it shows 28, but we was able to get back like 7,000 already that him and my office is working together to get that taken care of. So just let me know on them 3 accounts. All right, starting out. Should be in order. I'm going to this page first. It's wet, and then this year for body armor, I need 7 deputies need to be replaced with body armor. And also I have 2 openings right now, so 2 additional. The cost of that is $7,650. We always talk about the overtime budget. The overtime budget hasn't been raised for a long time. I know Debbie's gotten pay raises over the last few years. I'm requesting that to go up. 10,000 more on the general and 20,000 part on the levy for a total of 30,000, bringing up to 160 instead of 130. K9s, they doing fine. We lost 1. We get ready. We're looking at purchasing another K9, so that's not changing. We asking stay same at 8,000. Just letting you know. Firearms training, 40,000 for the rounds and everything that we need. We get ready to make a purchase for this budget. Just got not approved. Just found some ammo, so we get ready to order some of that now. Additional vehicles. I talked to our county administrator about this. I'm giving you some numbers. It's estimates, because we don't know how much they're going to cost, because they say anywhere from 4,000 to 7,000 per vehicle. So I went with an estimate, asking for 4, either being Tahoes or the regular Ford Explorers we can get. But again, I can't get a price with anything. The Tahoes, the price that's on there, there's some available in Texas, which we can get through a guy in Willing. And they are 61, well, outfitted and everything is $64,067.08 right now. And then I break it down how much it is for each vehicles on line number 6, just for the outfit them. But that's all estimates, because there's no way to get it. I don't know what's going on with the state. We're supposed to have it in months ago, and it really messes with a lot of counties. But we was lucky to get 2. We got 1 Tahoe and 1 regular SUV, and they've down there getting stripes and all equipment put in them now, and we should get them any day now. Body cams, trying to stay up on them. We need 10 more this year just to keep, so if they get broke, lost, or whatever. The price on them are $5.99 plus $35.21 shipping. So material supplies of $6,342.10. Our tasers, and we'll get into that more with the quotes that we got from them. So tasers, I'm requesting to enter a 5-year lease agreement for 23 new models Taser 7s. There are 2 options, and you'll see it throughout your package here in a little bit. We'll go over it more in detail. 5-year lease for 23, including 1 year of training, duty, and everything you need to set it up. That's the cheapest one. The same package, but you get year supplies of batteries, training. Anytime that you have to use them, they send you stuff for free. Well, not free, you pay more for it. So the first one is $70,866. That's option 1. From outlays, what I'm asking is $92,308.20 over a 5-year period. Both of them are over a 5-year period. But the ones that we have now are the XP 26s. They're going to be obsolete within the next couple of months. They telling us. So we have them, but as they break down stuff, we won't have any. And we go over that more in detail. This is more or less an outlay what I'm asking for. Live scan fingerprinting system. That's what we use over here currently. We have one. We've had that since goodness that I can go back and remember. I think it was back in 2009, 2010, as far as we can go back and check. It's the lifespan of that is done with. There's upgrades in technology, of course, there's a put outlay there, and it also is going to be obsolete. The new one, we can go into detail for it more. It's $33,211. This is our subscriptions that we pay for yearly. ROCIC subscription, $300 a year, and also TLO is $1,200 a year. So in a nutshell, That's an overlay of what we're asking for within the sheriff's office. Additional pay for deputies and one civilian employee being Amy Farish. I'm asking for a $5,000 pay raise for them for them at $416.67 per month. Salary increase would be $184,998. The FICA part of it would be $16,448. Retirement, because it went up to 16%, is $34,050 for a total of $235,496. And then below that shows the breakdown, how much it cost out of general budget, how much it cost out of levy. And let you know, ran some numbers, again, these are estimates. With the increase from 13% to 16%. Just for mine, because I still pay the deputy sheriff retirement is $21.54. Out of general budget, it's going to be $19,132. And then for the process, there's two deputies at, it's $2,731 for total out of general budget. It's $24,017 or $24,017
Extra?
extra that the county will be paying this year, going from 13 to 16%.
I thought it would be more than that.
And the levy portion of it was $31,522 after 23, for a total of $55,539 more cost for the county. Any questions on that part right there before we go to the next step? Yes. I'm gonna go over just the quotes that y'all should have copies of. The first one is the quotes for the vest. $845 plus $5 shipping, $850 each, $7,650. That's this one here. These are the estimate prices. It says $45,659, but it's went up since then. It's up to $49,769 for a cruiser. That's just a regular cruiser right now. That's this one here, John.
And that's less than 10 days it's gone up, or 15 days it's gone up. that
Yes, sir.
much.
And they can't even really give me a price. That's just the markup percent he said right now. But you can't even order these things. Nowhere. Don't know. But again, that's fake. Bob Robinson, they have currently available. These are the ones that are in Texas. And what's different about this and what we usually do. And you can see, I think we paid $38,000. Ruth, is that right? 38 for the last Tahoe? Something around there. That's how much they went up. But what different about this one is they put all your lights, sirens, everything already outfitted. That's the deal they have with this company in Texas. So Texas will send them to them and they'll be fully up, ready to go. And the cost is $62,619 as of this past week or so.
I got one little small short question.
Yes, sir.
Do you have to have Tahoes and Explorers? I'm just.
That's really, that's the only thing out there other than your Dodges, being your pickup trucks and your two-wheel drives and all-wheel drive sedans.
I'm just wondering if you've thought about anything else.
We looked at that,
That's
Tommy.
easier to get or for certain areas and certain times and stuff like that. Just give you food for thought.
Well, the honest truth, we could go with the sedans, it'd be a lot cheaper and stuff, but for our terrain and where we go to and stuff, they wouldn't last going up in a hauler somewhere and these different roads. So that's why we always went with the sport utility
Okay,
vehicles.
I'm just curious.
Yes, sir. The radios this year went up also, $1,517.68 for a radio this year. And then again, this is Rocky Ford. If we just were able to get the clean vehicles, that's how much it would cost to get them outfitted. $13,527. That's for those Fords, and then for the Chevy Tahoes were $12,037. Provision, that's who we use for our body cams. And then this goes into the quote, next is the quotes about the tasers and stuff that Detective Willis or Sergeant Willis put together for us. He's the one that does our training, and McMillan on that. In 2022, this is the breakdown that we spent and purchased ourselves. from 15, 16, 18, 19, 21, 22 that we purchased. And I used concealed weapons money or SF money to get them. But again, these tasers are gonna be obsolete. And here's the two that I was gonna tell you that y'all really, I won't go over step by step. This is the breakdown to the company taser, the new ones now. And more or less what these tasers are different. One, technology wise, they up to date, they double barrel. You want to call
Oh,
it?
yeah, that's scary that they would, you'd have to reload it.
Yeah,
After you spin one cartridge.
and you don't have to do that anymore, Allison, with these new updated ones. But if you look at this. One is the 60 months. That's the 70,866 right here. It breaks it down how much it is per year. On this front page. And that's just the one that comes in. The 70,000 is just get a one-time training cartridge and you just get what you get. Period. And then they done with you. The other one is the one that is 92,000 over 5 years. How much it is broken down here per year, 18,461.64, but you get training stuff every year put onto it. So. I thought you were looking at somebody else.
Would you say you guys have to deploy those?
Honestly, this year the number's been down. There haven't been a lot of, I don't want to jinx this, but use of force is down a lot this year, which is good. It's a good thing, but in the past years, it was every other week and stuff like that. But it's another tool for the deputies have out there on the road other than going from hands-on to their firearm or a hard impact weapon. So that's, in a nutshell, that breaks it down for you, that you as commissioners can look at the cost of it per year. You can see here from detective's office also the process and supplies. I marked through all this stuff because I've already purchased this. The MacPort, we use that on crime scenes. It's a nice program. But I marked through all that because that falls within my budget. Just the ROCIC, the TLO, and the finger scan. This is the finger scanner. It's a long bunch of stuff that's in there, but this is what it looked like. It sits over in our processing room. We have one there now. But this would be able to do more stuff. It goes strictly to the state police. You don't have to. It's a good program. Like I said, we've had that other one for many, many years. But that's $33,211 total for that. John, you should never told me I had 15 minutes because I make me hurry up.
That's all he's allotted.
Huh?
Everybody gets 15 minutes.
I know. You can skip through all them and get back to the pay. The first one you have up here. You look, that's with the pay raise, $416 on the month, that's cost for benefits. And everything the county would have to pay for each deputy, and that also has, county administrator gave us the updated, or this has the updated PIA charges on there too, so. That's a cost. For example, a new deputy with no experience starting out at $40,000, it roughly cost if they have family and stuff like that, it's costing county $70,472.27 with the pay rate starting out. Now, there's different things we can do, and I've talked to a lot of other counties, and I think the commission asked about this the last time that we did our budget, talking about pay raises. We don't even have to move the salary up. Say if you graced them with a pay raise this year, leave it at 40,000, and that keeps them here for a year and gives them something to look forward to after being here a year. Then they would get it all at one time. Not only their 1,200 come off probation, but they get the other part. Other counties started doing that also. And if you look on that, either this one or the minimum, when we go over it, the overtime under the sheriff's treasurer part, overtime and part-time employees, I've knocked that down to 1,000 because we changed and gave people pay raises last month or so, instead of the 9,000. And then the second one, it has no pay raises for anyone. It's just a minimum that we have to have where deputies get to 240 a year. And with all this other stuff with the 16% and the PIA on it. And we go over that more on the next sheets here in a little bit. If you look, the Sheriff's Association this year put out, I put a copy in there for 2022 and 2023. This is all the counties throughout the state of West Virginia with the starting salaries and what they go up after a year. I found something interesting. Last year we had 19 class 1 counties. Now we're down to 17. And we are 15 out of 17 starting pay, and then we go to 16 out of 17 after 1 year, and that's for 2023. And then last year in 2022, it was 19 class counties. We had 15 out of 19 starting, and we went 17 and 19 after 1 year. And then there's another breakdown that you should have. And that's the certified deputy salary throughout the state. And then I added in Oak Hill PD, Fayetteville PD, Montgomery PD, and Mount Hope PD. That's this one here, Tom.
I'm looking at all of them. You got three.
There should be 3, Tom.
Yeah, there's 3.
This is the updated, and there's one that the Deputy Sheriff Association did for 2023, and then one for 2022. So
That's what I wanted to look at.
any questions on that stuff? I know I'm going quickly, but I know each and every one of you know how to read. John got me going because it says 50 minutes. I'm trying to hurry up. And then this here is just the breakdown that the county administrators that we started going a couple years ago, which I liked a lot. And then I also still do my front page goes with it, because that's the minimum funding that I have to have with no raises and stuff on the left. And then total requested be on the right, and that's with the pay raises, and that'd be in the middle of the request. Now, in doing that, of course, the one for general funding, officer treasurer, only thing changed on that was because we're out paying deputy sheriff's retirement. Dog warden. And I let the commission, and this is something we need to talk about at some other time. We were funded for 2 positions. I had posted that. I have called somebody in, and I've called him 4 times and never returned my phone call. Either we get rid of it or try up the salary. Starting was 25,000, but right now we just have Michelle, and she's on one working. But it's something we can look at, that we can save the county some money if have to, but we can talk about it another day. The next one was the Office of Law Enforcement. Total salaries and Amy with the 5,000 increase I'm asking for, it'd be $60,000 additional cost. I'm trying to up the overtime, 10,000 in that budget line. Then you have your FICA, your retirement expenses. Training education, I am asking for $1,500 more because we have young deputies. I'm asking for $1,500 more in that. And uniforms, cost of uniforms went up. We was a lot of 25,000 last year. I'm asking $1,000 increase on that. And then the capital outlay part of it, that's just the vehicles, the scanner, and all the other stuff that I was asking for that on that first cover sheet. If I didn't put material or supplies up underneath the capital outlay. If everything stayed the same for 11 deputies, 1 civilian, 1.1 million. If get everything we asked for at $400,000, and that's big 307 because we don't know that. It put up 1.5 million total request on that line item. The next one's a levy fund overlay. Again, on the far left-hand side, Is the 23 deputy sheriff that's covered, we're too short, we really, I'm gonna let the commission know, we're 6 short right now, but 2 of them are openings. We have 2 in the academy, which just finished their 2nd week, we have 2 called back to guard, that's guarding our regional jails. But that's something else. Requested there, additional pay raises, it's gonna cost $114,000. I'm asking for $20,000 up on the overtime from 60 to 80. Then your FICA cost and your retirement cost in there also. So the number would be 1.5, if all the requests went through, it'd be 1.7 for 23 deputies on the levy. Officer transport. Under 7,000 right now. This overtime wages. Can't really tell right now, but we probably can adjust that down the road. Overtime been cut down with the courts and with the regional jail authority and everything like that. Anthony's office doing a good job with that, so we don't have as many inmates coming and going. I still request the $500 for feeding prisoners in there, because there's times that we get that, and I had to use it a couple weeks ago. Mental hygiene's now the way that's done, so it costs us some money on that.
Who in your office qualifies for overtime besides your deputies, who obviously?
Deputies, and only other ones does the transport. And the ship, well, Michelle,
Okay,
but that's worked out. So just transport right now, ma'am, and deputy sheriff. Road deputies and stuff, you know,
Yeah.
every deputy, I should say every deputy is, because court, you know, yourself, it goes over sometime. Everything else in there, and I skipped over a couple of the other ones, because it really didn't ask for anything within the changing. The civil process one, that's under general budget also, 10,000 in raises, 765 in FICA, and $1,600 in retirement expenses. Uniform allowance and everything stays the same. But again, like I said, a lot of paper, big budget. I will let the county commission know that I'm getting ready to spend some money out of the concealed weapons classes and stuff. We have a SWAT team, a SRT team, that we have a lot of new members. We finally got our sniper teams together. There's 3 deputies on that. And we already got classes signed up. And it's going to cost me to get them, what we're going to do it, the 3 snipers, who is Deputy Lanier, Corporal Cyphers, and Corporal Gibson, they're going to be going to a class. I'm going to pay for that. Asset forfeiture or whatever counts I can. It's a week long, so it's going to be good for them. Less lethal, flash bang, stuff like that, chemical agents that SWAT team uses. There's 2 deputies going to that, going to be McMillan and Willis. Ballistic shields. Pridemore Morse is going to that one. SWAT team leader development, Tomlin and Carlson's going to that one. And then tactical mission and briefing, and that's going to be Goodson and Pearson going to go to that. So all the classes is $8,185. And like I said, I'm going to be paying for that out of another line item. That doesn't cost out of I might ask the county commission for it. And Sergeant Pack and Amy's going to a couple classes, and then, like I said, we have an opening in the Detective Bureau, so there'll be another detective going to that. And again, I'm paying for that out of my asset forfeiture accounts and stuff. I finally got answers from the Fed that we can use it for training and stuff, so that's good. And that per diems and everything will be paid out of that 58,000. So I know it went quick, but I know the county commission again knows how to read. And I appreciate your time. Any questions for me?
Just 1 second. I don't want
Yes,
to
sir.
keep too much time.
No.
Is this the right page or the back of this one? Is this, because that's what I've been looking through, and
Yes, this is the 2023, Tom.
yeah, but I'm confused because it goes from 44 to 40. And if you look at These are two different figures.
Maybe I'm gonna start making copies. What do you mean two different?
Well, in other words, the county is different anyway. Let's see.
Ones are starting salary.
You see what I'm
one's
saying?
after 1
It's a
year.
different chart than back here. Totally different. Look at the numbers on Putnam on that one and then Putnam on the other one. And it's totally,
Which one? Let me see.
well, that one. Look, what I'm saying, look at Putnam on the front of here. On the bottom there.
Mhm.
Then turn around the back. And the scale is, the
Well, I see
spreadsheet's
what's
wrong
happening.
too.
41,6, 47,320. Putnam's 41,6 and 47,320 over here. It's the same.
Is everything switched around? How did that happen?
What do you mean?
What do you say? Like, I don't want to take up too much time. This 0.71,
Uh-huh.
41.
That's how many deputies. I don't
I mean,
know.
do you see what I'm saying?
know.
It's totally a
That
mess there.
came, that
Just
came
if
from
you-
the,
If you can just fix it. I don't know whether the other commissions are like that or not, but Just- it's- yeah, I mean, just like, don't worry about it right now. I just wanted to bring that to your attention because I like to study this stuff and it didn't seem right.
I mean, I want to know, you got me wondering. Deputies for. I guess on this back one here, Tommy, wait, it looks like they didn't copy over the deputies for 1,000 calculation.
If you would, just get them charts fixed for us, if you would. That's
I had to call the state, they do that. not me.
okay. All
But I'll
right,
get it fixed for you.
all right, brother. Thank you.
All right, I have one question, since we have a moment. How did your tour of the proposed gun ranges go with Commissioner Luis's?
Commissioner Luis's did not go.
Oh, okay. I thought y'all were going like Friday or something.
Yeah, we was going.
Here's the stuff you wanted, John. This is breakdown of the chief of the vehicles that we currently have.
Okay, cool.
So that's what we're currently.
Thanks, Rob.
That's just the vehicles and everything cost.
Good. I'll crunch numbers this weekend.
Any other questions? Ma'am?
I'm good.
Sir President?
Just if you fix that.
I'll call him soon.
Yeah, it was really
I'll call him.
confusing. I just,
I'll take your.
all right, thank you, brother.
Anything, sir?
No,
All right, thank you. Did I go over?
just.
It was 15 minutes. That's okay. Eddie just got here.
Going back now.
Excellent. Well, come on up, Eddie, we're ready.
John, there's your request.
Okay, cool.
Okay, my budget's real simple. All we asked for were, salaries, benefits, a little bit of travel money and a couple subscriptions and I mean, that's it, pretty much every year. You know, that's how our budget goes. Any questions? Glad to answer.
Have you, is it? I mean, I'm good with it. If the other two commissioners are good with it.
I'm good with it.
Yeah, you reduced again, so.
I do have one question for you since the other two commissioners that they don't have any other questions,
Okay.
correct? The property assessed values. Do you think they're going up
I'll be
between
honest
now
with
and this time next year?
you. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do,
From 20, from the 23 tax year to the 24 tax year. I would almost bet that will go up.
because I'm thinking to make a presentation to the commission on a tax rate reduction.
If we do what I expect we're gonna have to do for that year, you would probably end up required to have those hearings.
Well, I'm
public hearings.
I'm gonna put something together and request
Yeah,
the commission to vote on the tax rate reduction.
yeah. I
If the
think that-
values go up to what I think they go up to, I'm putting it together right now.
Yeah, that will help. You may have to give me some more money in my budget to take care of the people lining up around the building if we'll do what we should do. But we'll start evaluating that stuff after 1st of July. And looking at 24.
Well, this time next year, I'm gonna make a presentation.
Right.
So it'll be about the same time, I'm sure.
And gone, right? I just wanted to tell you that the section of code that he was asking me about for those refunds is 11-327. And it's not clear. I mean, it just says, I've got it here. If you want me to go make a copy of it, I'll make a copy of it so you can read it, but. And where the 5 years comes in, where we said we were going back 5 years, there's a earlier in the book. It talks about back taxes. If a property is omitted, or say it's listed sold to the state and it wasn't sold to the state or something, it wasn't taxable in the books, or it just was left off, you can back tax it for 5 years. That's where the 5 years came into play, but I still think that the way you handle that going forward is just the way you've always done it. And if you waver off of that, then you're setting yourself up for somewhere down the road, maybe a can of worms.
Yeah.
So, but that being said, you don't have to approve. I mean, that's up to you. That refund that we submitted, that is entirely up to you guys. You don't have to approve it. Okay. But that was my recommendation, but for what that's worth, you guys can vote however you want to do one. Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We have a matter that wasn't on the agenda, but I don't think we're going to get in trouble for it. We have a valuable employee who is retiring. We didn't have a lot of notice, and she has served this county a large number of years. We have a certificate of honor to recognize the service of Jewel Phillips from our 911 center. She began her career in emergency management in May of 1975. She volunteered until 1986 when she became a paramedic for Jane Care Ambulance, which is still in operation today. In August of 2004, she became a part of the 911 telecommunications family, and she has been a telecommunicator, communication trainer, and a shift supervisor. And her farewell party is going to be Thursday this week. She's off today and wasn't able to come in, but we wanted to recognize her many years of service to the county and to the 911 center specifically. So I'm going to go ahead and sign this and pass it down, and then Ruth has a plan for us to be able to present this to Jewel in person.
You're good, John.
I need to borrow your blue pen. Thank you.
Well. You go.
All right. Make a motion to go into executive session at 10:08.
That's to have
Oh,
consult with legal counsel.
about the bonds. Come out of executive session at 12:11. No decisions made. What we did get recommendation from our lawyers to write a letter on a bond issue to the Economic Development, West Virginia Economic Development Authority. So do we need to vote on that?
Well, yeah, we have the letter drafted and we're gonna vote on it on the record. I move that Amy's about to print it, but everybody's seen it. I move that we approve letter as drafted.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So we'll sign that after the session.
And the other issue is, we're gonna take, I'm gonna make a motion to approve Eddie's recommendations for the refund for $312.04 for the request to, what is the lady's name here? Let me see it. Joyce Smith.
Right,
Second.
and the issue was that we adhere to our precedent in the past, we've been paying back up to 5 years. Based on the West Virginia code.
Oh, yeah, all in favor?
Aye.
And then the last thing to revisit was the voucher.
Yeah. I make a motion to approve Golly River Volunteer Fire Department voucher request for $59,133.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion adjourned.
Motion to adjourn.